As I was going to Julian, California, I had to pass through Cuyamaca Rancho State Park, and I noticed fire coming out of the mountains. I was really curious, so I wanted to investigate so I could notify authorities. Little did I know that this was a controlled fire by the fire department, that they burned nearly half the hill or mountain, whatever you want to call it, acres and acres for some, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of a environmental reason. I heard some tree seeds will not sprout unless there is fire, so maybe that's why they did it. Or fire ashes could be used as fertilizers for future forests to grow. Maybe that's why they did it. I don't know why they did it. Or to prevent future forest fires. That's why they do some controlled fire. So watch the footage. I hope you will enjoy the scenery. So as you can see, this is beautiful Cleveland National Forest, which is located in Cuyamaca Rancho State Park, north of Interstate 8. And I noticed smoke coming out of the mountains, out of the hillside. So I said, let me see what's going on, and is it something serious? Is it a campfire or what it is? So I could inform the authorities. But after I flew there, I realized that it was just controlled fire put in place by the fire department to prevent future fires, or out of control fires, to prevent out of control fires. Not to mention that later I learned that there are certain seeds of trees and pine trees and other vegetation and plants and tree and other types of trees that need high temperature or fire in order for them to burst open and basically you need that to rejuvenate the forest. And not to mention the ashes work as great like a type of a I don't know what do you want to call it, like a manure type of thing, or maybe you could call it a fertilizer. It could be a great fertilizer for forest regrowth. So everything was okay, but in this video, notice the beauty of the nature in that area. And this place is not even far from downtown San Diego. You're looking at maximum 1 hour drive, if that. Especially if you're coming from El Cajon or East County, it's going to be less than that, maybe 45-50 minutes drive. And it's composed of multiple lakes and hillsides, forests, and campsite. It has multiple campsites. This beautiful lake that you're seeing in front of you is Cuyamaca Lake, which has a fishing dock, and it has rental boats, and you could also fish from a rental boat. Obviously, you need to get the fishing license from the park ranger office, which is located right next to the park. And also, it's worth mentioning that they have a great restaurant there, right next to the lake. I was in that restaurant a month or so ago, and they have great food. You can enjoy a family outing in this area, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Believe me, you're gonna love it. And not to mention the wildlife. As you notice in the beginning of the video, there were like deers running around. You have wild turkeys running around. You have different types of geese, and you have hawks, you have turkey vultures. I have yet to see California condor in this area, but I'm sure they're somewhere in there. I haven't seen it yet though. So yeah, it's a great place to be, a great place to visit and enjoy a weekend. They also have, if you go a little further, maybe like 20 more minutes drive, you get to the town of Julian, and in the town of Julian you can you know, enjoy world's greatest apple pies and cherry pies. All the apple pies are made from fresh homegrown apples and cherries within Julian. And yeah, and they also have hotels where you could stay, spend a night, not to mention the historic gold mines that you can go and check out. And so yeah, this is a place really, really worth seeing. So this is the red truck is my truck as I'm trying to land the drone. You know something about drones? Landing the drone is one of the most difficult tasks if you have a limited space, if you have a boundary of like trying to land it on top of a vehicle. It's very, very hard. So yeah.
Oh, that's it.
So this is the angle from inside the vehicle, and I'm trying to land this thing on the sunroof, and we have heavy winds. This is not an easy task, especially in this trip. I had a lot of dust accumulation on my sunroof. Trying to see how wind takes it the other side. I'm trying to land it on the sunroof. This video is shot from within the vehicle. I'm going to show you the footage from the outside as it lands.
That's awesome landing.
So watch the footage.
That was an
from
awesome
the actual
landing.
drone
Such
as it
a
lands.
tight space.
So it's trying to approach. See that poor visibility on the sunroof because of all the mud and dust accumulated during this trip, although I washed the vehicle yesterday. But there you go. I mean, that's the hardest part, to land your drone safely in an area as small as a sunroof of a vehicle. It was beautiful, wasn't it? And this place is not far from San Diego. It's just a question of an hour drive. You could go and enjoy the nature. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more beautiful California nature and wildlife, make sure to subscribe.